If you're a custodial supervisor at a local high school, you know that cleanliness is key, and that the best place to get cleaning supplies is from Grainger. Grainger helps you stay fully stocked on the products you trust, from paper towels and disinfectants to floor scrubbers. Plus, you can rely on Grainger for easy reordering, so you never run out of what you need. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Bugs crashing your pack's party? Whether they've got paws or sneakers, your pack deserves a home that's protected from pests. That's where Wondercide comes in. Plant-powered protection made with steam-distilled natural essential oils that actually work. It kills and repels fleas, ticks, mosquitoes, and ants without questionable ingredients or overpowering smells. Safe to use around kids and pets when used as directed. Lab-proven to work fast. And proudly made in the USA. We offer sprays for pets, people, homes, and yards. Plus, spot-on treatments, collars, and even shampoos. Whatever your pack needs, we've got it covered. Founded by a pet parent looking for a better way to protect her dog Luna, Wondercide's now protected over 21 million lives and counting. You might have even seen us on Shark Tank. Go to Wondercide.com and use code WONDER20 for 20% off your first order. That's WONDER20 at Wondercide.com. Wondercide. Protect your pack with plant-powered Wondercide today.
So what's funny, Maggie, is this is giving me flashbacks. This movie's giving me flashbacks to when early on in the podcast, long before I knew you or Cullen, and it's crazy. So I've been doing this now for 7 years, and I've known Cullen. I've known you for almost 2 now. Maggie, I've known you for almost 3.
Yeah, whenever you made that trip over here.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's almost 3 years now, yeah. So back in the day when the show first started, we did 2 movies an episode. And so we would have like a break in the center, but we would talk about one movie and then another, like feature-length films, which is, I mean, if you listen to the show now, that's insane because most of these episodes are like an hour on their own. So yeah, we were doing like 2 hours a week. So watching Wallace and Gromit and doing 3 movies kind of brought flashbacks to that. So on this episode of the Kulturecast, we were supposed to just do The Wrong Trousers, but then we kind of realized it's only 30 minutes, folks, and that's probably not enough.
Somebody became a grade school teacher, and like all the kids were shoveling their books slowly into their backpack. Everything was going to be chill. She forgot to assign the homework, no biggie. And then finally last second, it was like, oh, wait, we got math to do. Which, okay. I'm just saying, I like it this way. This is a good way.
Hey, no, let's just get this out of the way. It's giving me flashbacks, but there is going to be nothing but positives on this episode. I'm almost 99% sure. So on this episode of the Kulturecast, we are talking about A Grand Day Out, The Wrong Trousers, and A Close Shave, the original 3 Wallace and Gromit shorts, though they're not really that short. And I'm going to be joined by my good friend, she programmed the month, the owner of the Dolin Museum.
Ah.
Well, aren't you?
Yes, I am. No, I sold it.
You sold it already. Jesus Christ, that was fast. Maggie the Odd.
Hello.
And my good friend, he is the purveyor of all things noir and pulp. He is also a man who has a website, pulp-serenade.com, Mr. Cullen Gallagher.
Howdy.
So, Cullen, are you more of a Wallace or more of a Gromit?
The true Zodiac.
Right.
Well, apparently I'm a Gromit because I love dogs.
I like that. I am a Gromit because I personally love dogs.
Of course I would be a dog. I love dogs.
I would say you're probably more of a Gromit. I think all of us are more of a Gromit. I don't know. Wallace feels like a very specific personality.
Yeah, I don't know, but I definitely identify as a Feathers McGraw. That's that's my right there.
That's fair.
The creators of Chicken Run bring you the Academy Award-winning Wallace and Gromit, the cheese-loving inventor.
They're techno trousers.
And his canine best friend.
Cracking toast, Gromit.
Together, Wallace and Gromit star in 3 comedy adventures for the whole family.
What's all this?
A grand day out, a hilarious journey to the moon in pursuit of the perfect cheese.
It's like no cheese I've ever tasted.
The Wrong Trousers, the Academy Award-winning madcap mystery involving a pair of pants and a suspicious penguin.
It's the wrong trousers, Gromit, and they've gone wrong.
And another Academy Award winner, A Close Shave, in which Wallace and Gromit rescue a giant flock of sheep from a diabolical bulldog.
He's malfunctioning.
Mal what?
So look for the perfect video for the entire family. The Incredible Adventures of Wallace and Gromit, featuring all 3 Wallace and Gromit adventures.
Oh, this is a fine howdy-do, isn't it, Gromit?
Available on video November 21st.
So on this episode, we're going to be talking about those 3 Wallace and Gromit shorts. If you have never watched them, there is a 98% chance that you are an Amazon Prime member. They are all on Amazon Prime in their entirety, including Chicken Run, and I think Were Sheep as well, or Were Rabbit, or whatever the movie is called. So you could go check those all out on Amazon Prime. We're not supported by Amazon Prime, but we support Amazon Prime. I think by living in 2021 anymore. So that's where you can find them. So they're free for pretty much everybody. So go check them out before you listen to us, because if you don't, you're going to have no idea what we're talking about. Because if you've never seen Wallace and Gromit before, I'm going to let Maggie explain what Wallace and Gromit is before we talk about it, because Maggie is uniquely suited to explain what Wallace and Gromit is and why Wallace and Gromit is something that we're talking about this month.
It sounds special. Okay, so first off, the reason I got into Wallace and Gromit in the first place is, of course, we had VHS tapes of it in our basement, because why wouldn't we? We had tapes for everything. But it was Nick Park with Aardman Studio, it was Will Vinton with like some golden classics, and it was Art Clokey with Gumby. It's a clay animation, and this is a series of 3 of Nick Park's early years shorts. This is the most recognized. He also did Creature Comforts. His studio did Angry Kid. And Not Without My Handbag is one of my favorite alternate shorts. But Wallace and Gromit is an inventor and his dog. And really, they keep it simple. Each episode kind of contains whatever contraption Wallace has made, and Gromit is always there to kind of clean up the mess and fallout, because he's just very naive and gets into very polite trouble.
Very British trouble.
Yeah, it's one of those things where it's like, this would be a non-issue if he did X, Y, and Z, but...
Well, and, I'm curious, before I give kind of my background with it, Cullen, what's kind of your background with Wallace and Gromit and, I guess, British humor writ large? Are you a fan of British humor? I know a lot of people aren't.
I do like British comedies. My background with Wallace and Gromit goes back to this morning, apparently. And I've done nothing but watch them all day. I rewatched all of these twice. I watched A Matter of Loaf and Death and The Curse of the Were-Rabbit.
So Cullen is like those TikToks where it's like day 1 of watching Wallace and Gromit, day 5 of watching Wallace and Gromit, like a plate of cheese,
like
day 10 he's got the wrong trousers on with a penguin in the background.
I was going to have a plate of cheese and crackers, but I wound up having hummus and crackers instead, because I didn't buy the cheese when I was at the store. But
but hummus is good. I mean, hummus is like top 5 dips as far as I'm concerned. So, I mean,
it still wasn't appropriate. I'll have to watch some more Wallace and Gromit with more appropriate snacks there. Yeah, safe to say I absolutely adored them, and they're just like completely magical.
So similarly to Cullen, I had not seen Wallace and Gromit until last week. But I had seen Chicken Run in theaters. I mean, again, it is Nick Park. It's not Wallace and Gromit, but it's the same animation style. It's the same look. And, it's Nick Park. So it has that same feeling, but this is obviously very different because Chicken Run is not, it's British. Correct me if I'm wrong, but this is not comparable. This is hyper British. This is like Mr. Bean in a lot of ways. Right, I mean, it's that
kind
same...
of off the cuff. It's kind of playing off of simplicity and situational comedies, but very clever. I always liked how simple the stories were, and you can actually, watching them back to back, you see how much they developed over the years working through Wallace and Gromit. And in a lot of the third short, you kind of see the steps that got to Chicken Run, which is interesting.
Well, and it's really funny. The idea of Wallace and Gromit is really based in an old comedy tradition of the comic and the straight man, because Gromit is the straight man, very obviously. He's the teller to Wallace's pen, the laurel to his heart. I mean, it's that classic pairing, right? Because Gromit doesn't talk. He's a dog. Dogs don't.
Your kids could get free or low-cost health coverage from Medicaid or CHIP. Even if you've applied before, they may be eligible now. Kids up to age 19 are covered for checkups, vaccines, dentist visits, hospital care, and more. And if they already have Medicaid or CHIP, remember to renew every year. Visit insurekidsnow.gov or call 877-KIDS-NOW. Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
Bugs crashing your pack's party? Whether they've got paws or sneakers, your pack deserves a home that's protected from pests. That's where Wondercide comes in. Plant-powered protection made with steam-distilled natural essential oils that actually work. It kills and repels fleas, ticks, mosquitoes, and ants without questionable ingredients or overpowering smells. Safe to use around kids and pets when used as directed. Lab-proven to work fast. And proudly made in the USA. We offer sprays for pets, people, homes, and yards. Plus, spot-on treatments, collars, and even shampoos. Whatever your pack needs, we've got it covered. Founded by a pet parent looking for a better way to protect her dog Luna, Wondercide's now protected over 21 million lives and counting. You might have even seen us on Shark Tank. Go to Wondercide.com and use code WONDER20 for 20% off your first order. That's WONDER20 at Wondercide.com. Wondercide. Protect your pack with plant-powered Wondercide today.
Don't talk. So
with those expressions.
But the amount that you can do with the animation it's amazing. But yeah, it's based in old comedy tradition, and you have, I mean, the easiest way to explain this to someone is it's a, claymation Laurel and Hardy. I mean, it's very much in that same kind of vein of slapstick situational comedy that's easy for everybody to understand. It's like Three Stooges, right?
Yep.
I kept thinking of silent comedy because even though the dialogue is brilliant, we forgot the crackers. But forgive my, I'm not going to attempt to do the accent ever again.
But do the handshakes. Gromit got the crackers.
You can do it. But yeah, the dialogue is brilliant, partially because it's so sparse. But yeah, so much of the stuff you can just watch and just see the visuals of how everything's going on, and I found that entrancing.
Yeah,
I love
with
Wallace's.
The first short.
Go ahead, Maggie. Go ahead.
I love all of the sight gags that they threw in on the first one. It's very sight gag heavy. I still think about when he saws through the workhorse, and so Gromit has to be underneath the board that he's sawing.
I know, what a good doggy.
The rats with the sunglasses in the basement during lunch, and just the design of the moon robot was so good.
When he's screwing in the thing and he's going around in a circle.
So good.
And the thing about this first one, A Grand Day Out, is the entire conceit is Wallace wants to go on vacation, and he wants to go somewhere where there's cheese. Where do you go that is full of cheese? Well, ladies and gentlemen, you go to the moon. Because as everybody knows, the moon is made of cheese. Which is, one of the stranger statements to base an entire thing off of. But again, to go back to the fanciful nature of this, and I would say the very wholesome, this is wholesome entertainment in a lot of ways. It's what's as wholesome as saying the moon's made of cheese? Very few things. It's a statement of, it's a fanciful statement. So they fly to the moon. And while they're there, they meet a robot who wants to go back to Earth to ski.
Yep.
Hilarity ensues. I mean, it's one of these things where, like,
at the end there.
Well, that's the thing about these movies that I have a hard time doing myself is I have to watch it 2 or 3 times because each time I watch it, I'm watching it for something different. The first time I watch it, I'm just watching it to enjoy it. And then the second time I'm watching it to see, just focusing on how they're doing what they're doing.
Yeah, the technicality is very slick. This one has a lot of, some visual stuff. It's a little less technical than the other ones got, but what they got away with what they had was fantastic. I love seeing, like, the robots daydream in that whole alternate film style in the little bubble, as well as just, like, the backgrounds that shift from their house to the moon. It's so nice. It's good just kind of catching these little tricks that are just super simple.
I don't know about y'all, because I hadn't seen it before. I actually thought that the ship might blow up.
Right.
Like, I was like, there's like tension. I was like, they're like trying to like escape. The robot has like, has the can opener. It's like, oh my God, what is that can opener gonna do? Okay, he's just trying to get into it. Okay, he's there. You see the fuel, you see the gasoline, he's lighting a match. Is this gonna blow up? Like, I thought that was actually really effective tension building.
Oh yeah.
And again, it's a fanciful scenario, right? There are stakes, but it's not, I would say it's not someone's gonna get murdered, but we'll leave that for the wrong trousers. But to your point, Cullen, like, there is this, like, it's a sense of danger. You hope the characters are going to get, away safely. But it lends itself back to this just, it's so basic in the story that it's telling. And so you have to be laser focused when you tell a story this basic. You have to nail every single part, right? I mean, that's the problem here. You can make a story massively complex, which in and of itself is a problem, or you can make it insanely basic. But if you make it insanely basic, you better do it perfectly. And this is an example of that.
The details you're talking about, like, I adore the magazine titles that he and Wallace and Gromit are reading. It's like all these different vacation magazines, and I think it's like Cheese Vacation magazine or Cheese Holiday.
Yup.
I think my favorite thing was like Magagazine. I don't know if they spelled it wrong intentionally. I think they did, but Magagazine.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm glad. Magagazine. I saw that. And I was like, I love that. It's just they have this sense of fun. This first special of the 3, it's pretty rough in a lot of spots. But like that's the thing.
Pursuit for sure.
Right. I mean, it's such an early strong entry that you knew in 89 when you saw this that this is going to be something special. It's already something special, but it's going to be even more special when they figure out how to do even more impressive stuff, which they really do. But again, stop motion in and of itself is not the quick man's medium, ladies.
Especially claymation. I have not had much luck at all with clay.
So
a lot going on.
Maggie, give our listeners an idea of how, if they don't understand how stop motion works, how does stop motion work?
Have you ever had sleep paralysis and you tried to run away? It feels like that, only for copious amounts of hours. It's usually 24 frames a second where you take an object and you slowly move it wherever you need it. And that's not countering for like gravity or anything else that you have to kind of synthetically inject into it. Because, being a person, it's super easy to jump, but moving an object and having it be still in midair, you have to kind of do a significant amount of problem solving for any interaction that you have that's beyond just standing.
And we talked about
standing.
And yeah, I was saying we talked about it a little bit on the last episode, the Wizard of Speed and Time. That was live action stop motion.
Yep.
Which presented Mike Jittlov his own kind of special set of problems. But yeah, you have a clay model that you have to move 1 frame at a time. 24 frames is 1 second. This is 30 minutes long. It's
significant, especially with how much is going on. Because you don't really think of simple things like gravity, or how do you saw through a bit of wood, or how does he kick a ball in the air and it just disappears. I always love it. And this one shows like really smooth animation for how rough the concept was. Because you can tell that like Wallace's face is very lumpy in this one, and it gets to a normalized shape later on that's pretty uniform. But I mean, Nick Park is fantastic at taking design elements and making them so significant in what he does that it kind of glosses over anything that seems over simple or one of the little hiccups of like animation here and there. But his team is fantastic. A lot of the shorts that I watched growing up, like Creature Comforts, were really, really simple ideas. You record audio of just asking people on the street or people you know these simple questions about what they need to just kind of be happy and exist. And they take those audio tracks and they sync it up to these clay figures. And it's just lone standing things. Some stuff will be happening in the background, but he is a master at really honing in simplicity at its finest. And it's amazing to see the progression of the same concept, these two characters, like progress in this way, even to the movies beyond these three. It's really fantastic how it's held its iconography for this.
And what's crazy is there isn't that much Wallace and Gromit stuff. There's like 5 Wallace and Gromit things. There's these 3 specials, another special, and then the movie.
Yep.
That's it. And that speaks to exactly what you're talking about, Maggie, which is this is such a time-constraining, time-sinking amount of work that I think I said it on the last episode, I'll say it again here, no one in their...
Your kids could get free or low-cost health coverage from Medicaid or CHIP. Even if you've applied before, they may be eligible now. Kids up to age 19 are covered for checkups, vaccines, dentist visits, hospital care, and more. And if they already have Medicaid or CHIP, remember to renew every year. Visit insurekidsnow.gov or call 877-KIDS-NOW. Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
If you've been thinking about getting serious with your money, like actually serious, now's the time. The Motley Fool is offering new members 50% off their iconic stock recommendation service, Stock Advisor. This is the same service that's crushed the market with recommendations that have returned 1,057% since inception, compared to the S&P 500's 180% over that same period. This isn't guesswork. The Motley Fool has a track record of finding companies before they become household names. So if you want to invest smarter and you like saving money while doing it, go to fool.com/listen to claim your 50% off discount off a 1-year term of Stock Advisor. Again, that's fool.com/listen. Returns of 1,057% are from the Motley Fool's product Stock Advisor and measured against S&P 500 returns of 180% as of July 10th, 2025. Past performance is not an indicator of future results. All investing involves a risk of loss. Individual investment results may vary.
Right mind would willingly do this.
Nope, not at all. Especially not me.
I can't. I mean, again, just making a film has its own problems, and then adding this on top of it, or in addition to, it's a crazy amount of work to think about. And then when you watch 5 minutes of, stop motion animation normally isn't more than like fucking 5 to 10 minutes.
Right. A lot of it is just short because the nature of the beast. If you want a product to be out before the year's up, you have to kind of bite it down, and it's like, all right, fine, we'll do a 5-minute thing so I can shop it around some festivals. But with those 5 minutes, you can do a significant amount of, magic damage. So
Maggie, I do want to ask you a little bit about how the process that you and Jess took to make your stop motion film, The Cat.
The Cat. A tale as old as time. Go ahead, start me off with a question.
Well, I was just curious, the amount of time and effort that you put into that was how much? Just to give our listeners an idea of how much time and effort they spent on a half an hour thing here.
Yours
is what, 7 or 8 minutes long?
No, ours is only 3.
Okay, that's why I couldn't remember. I thought it was.
It was like
longer
the 3
than
to
that.
4. We entered it into a couple festivals that required a shorter amount. And we were waiting on matching funds for a grant that never happened. that's a whole other story in and of itself. Very Mike Jitlov. That is my saga. But for the process, just wrote up a 4-page script. Very bare bones, no dialogue, no nothing. Just point blank, this is the series of actions. Also kept it very simple. We got it. And Tony, which was my partner in this fiasco, said, why the hell not? We'll go ahead and do it, because it was a short script with not anything too crazy. So we started pre-production, and that probably took about half a year, because we had to construct a set that we would be able to kind of like jigsaw together and apart so that we could access various corners. Meticulously detailed, because Tony's a graphic designer, so he actually filled an entire bookshelf in the background of this animation with only cat titles. So they are books about cats, period, including actual covers of Cat Fancy. It's ridiculous. I love him for that. He made working lights in the hallway. It was so much more than I would put together, so I appreciated that. We decorated it. I made the puppets. I made about 4 different versions of the werecat, because it was either too big or too small, or the smaller cat was either not mobile, looked like a goblin, which I kept that one because it's heinous. It's like those little baby pictures where they have the stupid like cat head around them and they're just babies sitting there. Anyway, then it came to the animation part, and by that time, school was in session for college, so Tony had to be a professor. He animated, I want to say, about 4 or 5 scenes, which there may be like a microsecond or 1 second altogether, so a handful of frames. The longest take we did, I think, was about, I want to say it was like maybe a 3-second shot continuous. But there were a bunch of pesky things like walk cycles that require like an extra rig that somebody had to then edit out, and the werecat was too big, so I had to hold it up. The ceiling fell in the studio where we were recording it, so we had to move the entire set and try and reframe everything, relight everything in a completely different environment. It was a hoot and a holler. I was unemployed at the time. But we got it done in a year, and it did exceptionally well. And I could not be more proud of that whole entire fiasco, but it was insanity incarnate. I was the sole animator for a grand majority of that time, and I was losing my mind listening to Grace Jones.
So, Cullen, do you want to do a stop motion film? Doesn't it sound like...
Hey, I'm just saying music video.
I would love to embark down the stop motion road, but man, it's just...
Gotta say, you hit a zen point. There is just that nice little moment where as soon as you hit the playback, it's like stars and rainbows. It's the slowest magic trick. I said it in the last episode, but I'll say it again here. Even when a client was waiting an hour to figure out what the hell you're doing by squishing like taco shells around, and then you play it back and they're dancing and they're like, oh my God, like that moment, that's worth it. Right. And seeing these animators extraordinarily competent in these nice little detail, motions, interactions, expressions, it's fantastic. It really shows just how much they fucking care about it. It's amazing. And that's why Wallace and Gromit is one of like the top spots in my mind. Nick Park has always been an influence and always will be.
Did I hear you correct that you have animated taco shells dancing?
Yes. Food dancing.
Can I see dancing tacos at some point?
Yeah, I'll dig them up. They're
all right.
They were for a client project, so I have them in my personal file, but easy peasy.
Thank you.
Yes, of course.
And just so you know, Maggie, one of my favorite bands actually already has a stop motion music video.
See, because it's magical.
Cave Town has a music video to one of their songs that's stop motion.
Aww.
So
I was about to.
Yeah, it's funny though, because like you said, it would be something to see, and of course it already exists. So I do want to say let's talk about the wrong trousers. The rubber glove is exactly what you're talking about. The fact that they spent all that time on that rubber glove on the penguin's head It's mind-boggling.
Yeah, have you seen this chicken? That movie, this is my absolute favorite out of the trilogy. Feathers McGraw is an amazing villain. I love the whole tenant living in your space taking over like single white female levels. The heist is amazing, and the train sequence at the end is so amazingly animated. That was fantastic. Just the absolute syncing of the music, the interactions, the sheer speed of it, and how well it looks. It's like, oh, I love it. Every fucking time. I could watch that all day, every day, and it probably improve my mental health like 100%.
So like Maggie mentioned, this special features Wallace and Gromit, and Wallace makes a pair of trousers for Gromit that are metal. That I guess he makes
the techno trousers.
Techno trousers.
So he made them so that they can give Wallace a walk, or Gromit a walk, right, without him.
Which is so sad. That broke my heart. Where I'm just like, because it's his birthday, and Wallace is like playing like, oh, I didn't get you a present. And then finally he tells Gromit, like, I got you a present, and it might have bankrupted us. And it's a leash and a collar, and he's just like, why the fuck are you giving me a leash and a collar? And then you see the trousers, and it's like, this will give you your walkies. And I'm like, what type of birthday present is going to separate the dog from the guy? That's just like so sad.
I don't want to walk you, Gromit. Stop asking me, Gromit. There's no cheese in prison, Gromit. I mean, that is this like weird story in a nutshell. Exactly what you mentioned, Cullen. It's like, happy birthday, Gromit. Here's the fucking trousers that will walk you on your own. I don't love you anymore. It's
the
so
sound
weird.
design behind those steps are so good too. It's ominous. And once again, one of my favorite animated details is as the techno trousers are rounding the corner, of course he wrapped them, but they have the ribbon that's running down the front that will actually like ebb at every freaking step. I get so nerdy about the small things, but I fucking love that detail. And the sound design is always freaking good.
Speaking of small things, there's a train chase in this film. A model train chase. And it is insane.
Because they run out of track.
Yeah, and you have Gromit putting track down while the train is going. It's, again, I want to preface any of these discussions we're having with, you need to have watched this already. Because, like, this is too good not to watch.
Twice in a day, still not enough. I could put it on a third time.
Oh, yeah. Easily.
and I would actually wager a guess that you could show this to anyone and they would find it amusing.
If you've been thinking about getting serious with your money, like actually serious, now's the time. The Motley Fool is offering new members 50% off their iconic stock recommendation service, Stock Advisor. This is the same service that's crushed the market with recommendations that have returned 1,057% since inception, compared to the S&P 500's 180% over that same period. This isn't guesswork. The Motley Fool has a track record of finding companies before they become household names. So if you want to invest smarter and you like saving money while doing it, go to fool.com/listen to claim your 50% off discount off a 1-year term of Stock Advisor. Again, that's fool.com/listen. Returns of 1,057% are from the Motley Fool's product Stock Advisor and measured against S&P 500 returns of 180% as of July 10th, 2025. Past performance is not an indicator of future results. All investing involves a risk of loss. Individual investment results may vary.
Hello, this is Aaron West. I am the author of the A24 New Wave. In this book, I look at A24's output and I make the argument that we are in a new wave movement right now. A24 plays a major role. This book has a supplemental podcast where each episode is a brief conversation about an A24 related topic, whether an actor, director, or even a genre. As I continue research for the book and conduct interviews, I expect to record podcast episodes with people involved with the company. You can find the podcast at cinejourneys.com or wherever you find podcasts, and we are proud to be members of the Someone's Favorite Productions podcast network.
And I'm talking about take your laptop to the Kalahari and find a Bushman and show this to him. And he would probably find it funny because, again, it is so unique in how basic it is that it transcends, I would say, anything. there is nothing about this that I don't think anyone would find funny. Someone is going to find this funny. I think almost everyone would, because there's kind of something for everyone.
Maggie, when you were talking about the gravity, how difficult it is to animate. At the end, when Wallace is like perched on one leg on the train, getting that sense of balance, like in like teetering, I can't imagine how they got it. It's like, as I was watching it, I forgot that. I'm like, yes, they did this frame by frame. I'm like, oh yeah, this actually happened. There's some clay people walking around, and they're doing crazy shit.
They hired him. They found some people. The heist is what really blew my mind, because all of it takes place with Wallace upside down, because their new tenant is actually a criminal that wants to steal this giant-ass diamond from a museum.
Also a penguin.
And a shitty roommate. He leaves the music on so loud that Gromit leaves the house and goes to his little like dog house outside, and then he hears the penguin come in. So it's just like the penguin purposely like left the music loud and left the house just to piss off Gromit. Like, that's grade A, like, tenant aggression shit.
I appreciate the effort of re-wallpapering an entire room. Like that. Who would even have the patience for wallpapering, first of all, let alone taking it down, putting it back up, like, everywhere?
The sociopathic penguin, that's who.
Yeah.
I think it takes a real talent to make a penguin so loathsome.
Yes.
Right?
It does.
I adore
a cute penguin.
Yeah. I really hated that penguin, and I adore penguins, so I applaud this movie for going that far.
Exactly. They really hammer it home.
And again, like we've said, we talk about it a little bit when we talked about Who Framed Roger Rabbit, and there's a scene in that movie where they knock the lamp, and you can see the lamp moving around the room, and it's illuminating Roger Rabbit, and they were having to hand animate all of that, and it's insane, but they didn't have to, but they did, because it gives the world a little bit of weight. And like you said, Maggie, Nick Park, I think, for me, of all the claymation stuff I've seen for the most part, he has done the best job at giving it. He makes the characters feel like they're there.
Yep.
They're actually walking, like you said, Cullen, like actual two clay people walking around. It doesn't feel like puppets. It feels like clay actors. Mm-hmm. And that is the biggest success here, is that I think you can make the case that Wallace and Gromit are actors in their own right, and they're talents, and they have, like you said, Maggie, they build on what makes these characters unique in each of these films, and we're getting a better sense of who the characters are solely through one guy and his team moving it one frame at a second. It is just, it's insanity. There's no other way to call it.
My favorite sequence was the when Gromit is sort of stalking the penguin and trying to piece together what this plan is. And he sees the penguin take out a tape measure, and he starts using the tape measure, as a grappling hook, and then hitting the auto, sort of return button to propel him up.
Yeah.
And I thought that was just like the coolest visual gag.
It's the best. As a kid, I was very disappointed that didn't work that way. It's like, tape measures are the coolest. And it's like, these suck.
I could see like Buster Keaton trying to do something like that. Like these movies have this sense of like magic practicality where it's just like, okay, yeah, this is practical. Yeah, that will work. That makes sense.
It checks out. Yeah.
And then you mix it with like that weird kind of inventory, Captain Kangaroo, Beakman's World, 70s science TV show stuff.
Keaton also had that.
Right.
Like the, what's the one? It's, I think it's called The Electric House. Have you all seen that one? It was one of the shorts. He goes, I think, to school for horticulture, and they give him the wrong diploma, and they wind up giving him a diploma that says he's an electrical engineer. And so he is an electrical engineer, and he builds this like electric house with all these different components.
That's awesome.
And of course, everything kind of goes wrong, but it's like for like a brief moment, it does kind of work, and then it goes haywire. but the fact that he got the wrong degree doesn't stop him. I love that.
And the other thing that I really enjoy about this second special is, even though, it's 4 years, I think, after the first one, the level of polish here is night and day. And that's,
it's incredible.
Again, A Grand Day Out is amazing in its own right, but then you come to this and it's like night and day. You are watching, you're in the first, I want to say in the first minute of this one, you have them utilizing something they didn't really do in the last one, which was liquid claymation stuff is the craziest stuff that I can point out in this, because the moment when you have the oatmeal and the jam flying through the air and looking like real liquid, it's just I don't even, my brain can't comprehend how you could stand there and make that work. I just can't understand. I can't fathom it.
I mean, I could spoil it for you, but it's no fun that way.
Yeah, I'm sure it's not that hard, right?
I mean, it still has the finesse. But yeah, that jam always looked so freaking good.
I was gonna say, I kind of want to have some toast and jam now.
Right?
That looks appetizing.
Yeah. It's the only reason why I tried it in the first place, because I hate soggy bread. But I let jam slide.
But it's just so technically insane that,
it's leaps and bounds. The sheer amount of texture that they really honed in on this one in comparison to the very first one is fantastic. They saw how effective the different textures that they were playing with in the initial one. You still got the textured sweater, but in this one, they have those textures, but then they keep doubling it down. Like I said, the wallpaper is a great texture. The jam is fantastic because it has that slickness.
How about the ballooned out legs on the trousers?
Yes, where you could feel the rubber, you could smell it.
Yeah, it's again. There's this weird sense of like you had said, Cullen, clay actors on a clay set. It feels real, and I have seen plenty of the Leica studio stuff, and I think that stuff's great, but that doesn't have the weight that this stuff does. And this is I'm not going to say way simpler than those. It is, because what Nick Park is doing, I think, in scope is smaller than, Kubo and the 10 strings, which is, almost 2 hours long, and it's got God knows how many thousands of puppets, whatnot. The simplicity behind this, the fact that they nail everything here and make it as amazing as you can with crazy fake, robot leg trousers. Again, you have a simple idea and you've nailed it so well. It's like going and eating the best cheeseburger in New York. Is it going to be Wagyu? Probably not. It's going to be cooked really well by someone who knows what they're doing. This is a cartoon, stop motion animation made by... If I were to make something stop motion animation, I could back a fucking Brinks truck up to Nick Park's house and have him do it. That's what you would do if you were smart. Is pay this guy to do it, because I don't want anyone else doing it if I can afford to have him do it. That's how good he is.
I also just kind of want to give a quick shout out to the voice actors, because the moment when Wallace, when the penguin takes the little rubber glove off, and he realizes that it's his tenant, it's masterful.
Just aghast. That and the way he delivers the line, "Not my knotted pine." It's still my favorite. Just crashing through that pine cedar chest, whatever. I love it.
Yeah, but Peter Sallis' voice is just...
Hello, my name is Kevin Tudor, and I'm one of the 3 hosts of Almost Major, a film podcast dissecting many major indie studios and the films they release. Every week, myself, Charlie Nash, and Bryden Doyle discuss overlooked, forgotten, or bona fide classic indie films via studio-specific miniseries. We've previously covered numerous films from Artisan Entertainment, Lionsgate Films, and New Line Cinema. Titles including The Blair Witch Project, American Psycho, Dogville, But I'm a Cheerleader, Saw, Requiem for a Dream, and Ringmaster, the Jerry Springer film. Anyways, we have a fun time every week, and we hope you will join us. Subscribe to Almost Major wherever you get your podcasts. Now proudly a part of the Someone's Favorite Productions podcast network.
It's perfect, right?
Does such a good job. His delivery is fantastic, and I mean, So you mentioned Leica Studios, so I'm going to go through my little spiel on this one because I feel very intensely about this because I grew up on this clay animation stuff and a couple like really weird ones too, where stop motion was forever just kind of linked in my brain. But Leica is really good technically. They are fantastic. They have all the bells and whistles, the smoothest animation. But what really hits your brain is when it's just wrong enough, where it feels off. So your brain's just trying to mentally figure out what's wrong with this when there isn't anything technically. It's almost like the animation holds a whole entire personality on its own. It's like old school Looney Tunes. You knew who was animating it based on how they did smears and certain poses. They would have their own signatures in this. And I think stop motion animation is very effective when it's not as polished. It's kind of the same theory of bad drawings make good animation. Not well polished stop motion really makes something effective that kind of hits you very viscerally. Your brain knows that it's real, but the fact that it's moving is really conflicting. And the fact that small things are off, like the gravity of the step, the trousers, you can see it suction onto a wall. And then you also have the chase scenes that are very fluid and airy. It's amazing to be able to kind of delve into different steps in animation. And yeah, Kubo, Coraline, my favorite, which was Paranorman, all have those varying aspects. It's just they are too damn good, in my opinion. It's an art piece, but I like what the guy on the street's selling.
All of those movies
penguin
are very
sweating.
Wes Anderson. They feel very Wes Anderson to me.
So that's funny you mentioned that because that's what I kept thinking when I was watching this. I'm like, he fucking loves these movies, but he's never going to be as good as this. Like seeing like the stuff framed on the wall, like the sheep. Oh, yeah. Like there's just like a sort of like deliberation. Like there was just something just reminding me like he loves these movies. I just kept thinking about that.
Oh yeah, the cloud wallpaper during the train chase scene, the fact that he was flying through a living room, but of course they had the tacky blue and white cloud wallpaper as he's soaring through. It's a very Wes Anderson touch where it's very intentional backgrounds and shapes and shots.
Well, and Wes Anderson does have his own stop motion film. So
yes.
Two
now.
Wait,
Fantastic Mr. Fox. Mm-hmm. Isle of Dogs.
Oh, right.
I didn't see the Isle of Dogs.
Okay, well, Cullen, you specifically will adore that movie. And Chris, it is definitely worth a watch. And I personally love it because it really hammers in such a tacky, I can't say tacky, it's beautiful when it's done well, but taking stuffing and making it into steam, such a quintessential animation thing, and they do it so artfully. It made me so happy. It was like getting an inside joke. It made me chuckle in a theater.
That's good to know. I feel like the Fantastic Mr. Fox might be my favorite of his movies, so that's encouraging.
I was about to say the same thing. I really can't stand most of Wes Anderson's stuff for the most part.
I grew up with...
But Fantastic Mr. Fox, I like it a lot.
Well, and they did a lot of really nice nods to original stop motion. Like, they actually do 12 frames per second, because that's like the Rankin and Bass stuff. That's like California Raisins with Will Vinton. Right. They did the classic 12 frames instead of 24, and it has that feel to it. It's something you can't describe because it's going by so fast, but it has that pacing. And once again, Isle of Dogs follows suit with that. It has the kind of weird dialogue exchanges, but when it's put to a puppet in a lush environment, it's very, very cool to see that play out. It's completely different from live actors in Wes Anderson films, which, I mean, I still enjoy, but seeing those animations really make me super duper happy. I'm glad that he tried it out for a couple rounds, and I hope he goes back to it. I really do.
Yeah, I agree. I'd like to see more of those. I'd like to go back and see, the regular ones, because I haven't seen most of them in years. I feel like Bottle Rocket, I have really good memories of.
I just always remember being turned off by how up their own hipster ass they were. Do you know what I mean? It's like hipster for hipster's sake. It's not I don't know, you can be a hipster with a purpose, but Wes Anderson always felt like that guy who you would go talk to about movies, and he would only talk about things you've never heard of, and you would leave the conversation going, I'm sure someone enjoys talking to him. I just don't happen to be that person.
So it's me. You're talking about me.
No, I don't know why, but there's an air of pretension to Wes Anderson's live action stuff that's not there with the stop motion. And I just don't know if it translates into stop motion. There's something about his style that gets left at the door with stop motion that I appreciate that his live action movies don't have. Maybe the quirkiness just is more acceptable when it's puppets. That may be what it is. I mean,
it's how your brain's processing it.
Quirky puppet voiced by George Clooney or quirky character played by George Clooney? I'll take the voiced one.
Yeah, definitely.
And plus, those fox puppets are cool. Those are cool puppets.
They did a fantastic.
Yeah.
Well, they did a great job.
Yeah. So
speaking of great, sorry.
Go ahead, Cullen. Go ahead.
The one last thing about the penguin, the sweat coming off of him as he's, watching, as they try to get the jewel. Because Maggie, you were talking about the different textures.
Yes.
Just seeing the texture of the sweat jump off and roll over his eyes and stuff
And I always forget
amazing.
about the window switch when he has to make an emergency exit. So he steps on the swinging glass pane and it just flips him outside. Hell yes. That whole scene was so good. But yeah, the little sweat drops, it's specific material that catches the light just right. But damn, it seriously looks like sweat.
Speaking of liquid effects, let's talk about A Close Shave, which features Gromit up on a clock tower, squeegeeing liquid off. And oh dear God in heaven, I would love to know how long that took. Because yikes. That's the most impressive thing I think for me in all three of these is that scene where they're shooting the liquid on and you're watching the bubble. It's just, oh dear.
Yeah,
dear.
The soap in that one is really astounding. I can appreciate the fact that it is soap, and soap bubbles tend to have that fizzy quality that's always changing. It's very much like if you have a puppet with fur that you're animating, it's gonna look like it has major fleas, it jitters.
Right.
So with the soap, it's so cleverly hidden in that texture where it just looks effectively soapy, I guess.
Yeah, it does. It looks, well, again, there's a weight to it. You feel like it's actually soap and not just whatever they were using to mimic soap. So in this special, there's no trousers. They're not going to the moon, but some sheep are being stolen by a naughty dog, a naughty robot dog.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I did not see that plot twist coming.
I didn't either.
Funky.
Terminator dog all of a sudden there at the end.
It scares the shit out of you the first time because you're like, no.
That's what I was expecting. It's no, he's a robot. Just walking in. I mean, that dog is scary, similar to the penguin.
Got some chompers too.
Yeah.
Oh, I loved it. Great design.
I was expecting in the spirit of children's, or more adult entertainment, the robot to be turned to good robot at the end. No. The robot dies in a horrendous fashion. Gets sucked in, gets Indiana Jones. He gets sucked into the gears of this machine, and it spits him out into dog food cans. Which,
man, I wish that there were more machines that had giant grinding gears with spikes. I just don't think that that's applicable in warehouses today.
Right. So you have Wallace and Gromit who are they're operating their window cleaning business, and they meet this woman with her pet dog, and her pet dog turns out to be a robot, and this pet dog is stealing sheep to shear them.
Preston, right?
Yes, Preston the dog, Preston the robot dog.
Yeah.
He was invented by my father to protect me, but he turned evil.
It's like a classic 30s sci-fi horror movie.
Yeah.
It's of course he did. Why wouldn't your dad be this crazy genius that
I guess we should have realized, Cullen, that there was going to be some sci-fi twists, given that there's kind of been sci-fi in the last two.
Just a bit.
True.
Yeah.
I love the beginning, though, when you see, the sheep that breaks out of the truck and you're just like looking at the rear view mirror as the dog is sort of watching this happening. Like, I thought that was like a really effective, like kind of like almost like noirish, framing.
Yeah,
it's like really cinematic.
Down on the cinematics. Yes, exactly. Well, and this one is the most like they've made some major steps. They are very secure in their role as animation studio. So you can see a lot of what made Chicken Run good in this specific short, as well as them kind of figuring out like all these immensely technical backgrounds and machinery, which for Mrs. Tweedy's Pies, you kind of see a lot of that flavor coming back. And it's more notable because it has Shaun the Sheep in it, which had a spin-off TV show for kids, which I don't know why they picked this one. It's the most terrifying for kids.
And adults.
Yeah. And doesn't Shaun the Sheep has like 2 movies as well?
Oh, snap.
They've kept themselves busy with Shaun the Sheep, apparently.
I mean, it's an iconic character. I had a stuffed Shaun the Sheep where you had the sweater, or you could take the sweater off, and it even had like the little Band-Aid X on him. It was cute. It was super cute.
That's precious. I love it.
I watched a handful of the episodes of Shaun the Sheep. It's just wholesome kids TV show. Nothing too much of note, but it's just, a sweet little sheep with more sweet little sheeps. No robot dogs, but what can you do?
Well, that is the thing about this, the final special or film, whatever you want to call it, a special or film.
It is a special film.
It is a special film. The stakes have been raised once again. I mean, in the last 2, you had, 3 puppets? And this one they've got however many fucking puppets they have in this one. I mean, at some point you have...
sheep. The running cycle. The running cycle with all of those sheep. Let me tell you, my favorite day of animating the cat was when I had to animate the damn cat walking down a hallway. 4 legs is just too many legs. Get less legs.
See? And again, like, you don't even, as someone who's just sitting and watching, you probably don't even think about that. But like animating a puppet with 4 legs is much more complicated than 2. Just because, again, you have added problems with center of gravity, making it feel like it lives in the space as opposed to just existing in the space.
Yeah, it was moderately successful, but by the 5th take, I'm like, you know what? It looks great now. Looks better and better each hour that passes.
But this, I mean, the stakes, the technical stakes have really been raised here. I mean, it's of the 3, obviously, it should be the most technically impressive, given that it's the 3rd one that they made. But the stuff, the amount of leaps that they've made in the 5 years since A Grand Day Out is shocking. Because the puppets alone, and then you have the whole chase with the sidecar. It's just, and then the scene in the factory with the robot dog who, it's just, oh my lord.
It's also a lot. Go for it, Maggie.
Okay. I think like one of the scenes that was like, how the fuck would they even have the patience for is at the very end where the robot arms put the sweater on Preston, kind of locking him in, and he shreds it. If you have to think, those threads are clay and they're individually animated. Just enjoy that thought next time you watch it. Because as soon as I saw that sweater rip, I'm like, oh no. So brief, but I'm sure that took such a long-ass time to get down.
But then they do it for that exact reason that you just mentioned.
Yeah,
so that someone
they're
can go. So someone can go, oh my god. Can you imagine how much time and effort went into this?
Yeah. It's when you sit down and really tear it apart, being like, how would I tackle this? That you start getting into these really dizzying holes. It's not the craziest trickster of animation that I really enjoy, but they are definitely up there. They like giving themselves personal challenges, and even the people at Leica Studios do, like their fucking big ass skeleton armature that they did and different stuff like this, or the lit garden in Coraline. They always give themselves like little challenges because that's what, trust me, after several days of just monotonous animation, you want a challenge. Just anything will do. And so it's nice to see those moments where they're really fucking flexing and it's like, hell yeah, good for you.
Well, and that's the thing, like when I'm watching these now, because of our friendship, that's kind of where I find myself most of the time, is just watching it and being like, oh my God. Like, I can't fathom doing 1/10 of this, let alone however much these people have been doing their entire careers. Like,
oh yeah, and this is at a point where they had the ability to remove rigs in post. I'll have to ship over one of my favorite shorts by my absolute favorite, well, at least top 3 favorite animators, Barry Purvis. He did all of Shakespeare's plays and sonnets acted by Shakespeare and only Shakespeare. And the theater tricks that he pulls out were fantastic. And then he's saying that this
stop motion
was
Shakespeare?
Stop motion. It is puppet animation. There are mirrors. There is wings. There are. They had to use fishing wire and wait for like stuff to stop moving to take pictures because this wasn't with post production, where they had to hide everything because it was on film at the time.
Wow.
So it's fantastic because it's important to know these tips and tricks because the less shit you have to do in post, the better. That was definitely a mistake in the cat that I wish I took back because now anytime I hear somebody say, we'll fix it in post, I want to punch them in the throat immediately. I put several people in hell because of my shenanigans being like, oh no, they'll fix it. They got it. They're wizards. It's like, no, just figure it out right fucking now.
They're not those big wizards, apparently.
I know. Well, I mean, it was a challenge for all involved, and that ship was going down.
That's like future Maggie will deal with it. That's what that is. She'll thank you later.
Maggie can't do technology. That's why she do stop motion.
That's fair.
So you're all talking about how sophisticated the visuals are in this one compared to the others. You know, the first time I was watching it, that didn't sink in because the story is also so much more sophisticated, and
very.
Gromit gets like framed, and I don't know. It's a much more ambitious story.
There's a lot going on. There's multiple scenes, like a lot of them, like set changes, completely new scenes that like sets you never come back to.
Yeah, well, and you got to think the team probably grew significantly so they could actually deal with more complicated narratives.
Yeah, like the love story.
Yeah.
Exactly. Nice little nod. They didn't do it too schmaltzy. It was actually quite quaint. So, yay.
And he just happens to fall in love with a woman who looks like him. She doesn't look like me, Gromit.
Everybody looks like you.
Everybody looks like me, Gromit. I mean, I do love a unifying animation style, and Nick Park Studios.
Yeah.
Just Nick Park stuff in general, right? I mean.
Oh, it's
I like
fantastic.
the hands.
Yes.
The hands. They're huge.
Love it.
Nice chunky fingers.
Well, and it's very expressive, considering how complicated some of the interactions are, even like picking up a mug and stuff, having the larger set hands, it just helps. It's a great design. It looks awesome, but it's like you can even see the just technical aspects behind it too. It's like, oh yeah, of course. That's great. It makes sense for this world.
And I guess it wasn't Nick Park, but it was Aardman that did The Pirates in an Adventure with Scientists. Which I don't know if you have seen that one, Cullen, but you would appreciate that one. It's pretty fucking hilarious.
That was pretty fun. Yeah. That was fun.
It's essentially Hugh Grant playing a pirate in claymation.
All right, I'm on board.
It's a lot of fun. It came out. I don't think they did like any advertisement for it. Look,
it was so under the radar.
That's the thing about these claymation movies that I think is a little unfair. Is I don't think people care anymore. And there was like a time when they did, but I don't know why like they're not putting time and effort into advertising these things.
It's hard to say. I'd have to look at like the list of movies that were released around that time because I remember it popping up, but like as far as theater releases went, especially in my area, of course we didn't have too much there.
But I mean, it's one of those things where like I think if more people knew how wild it is to make all of this. I don't know if more people would be interested, but I don't know how do you sell people on claymation, I guess.
Well, if you don't show them how much it costs, it helps. No, I think the right people are really pulled by it. Ever since Nightmare Before Christmas, that's like the quintessential example. And now Leica Studios has been kind of the gatekeeper of stop motion now, too.
I still haven't seen that.
Really? It is good. For all the hype that it gets, it does fill out. I enjoyed the music in it. The animation, of course, is just lovely. All the variants of designs, which is good. But no, it's definitely worth a watch. I am indeed a fan. I hate that Hot Topic got its grubby little mitts on it, but that's okay. I grew up in the thousands and 90s, so I really am curmudgeon-y about that.
Well, I was going to say the other thing that bothers me about Nightmare is from Tim Burton, except he didn't direct it.
Henry Selick, thank you. That's why he has his own goddamn studio.
Yeah. That's the weird thing about Nightmare Before Christmas is it's like, it's a Tim Burton movie. It's like, no, it's not. Like
they work together, obviously.
Yeah. I'm kind of, I've seen it so many times now at this point. It's fine. Right? It's fine.
Just got desensitized by the wonder.
It's fine. It's good.
It's just, that's another one that I really enjoy due to like the set pieces that they have and the detail work. That's pretty much where I'm at with it. I can't get that, and I'm a sucker for a good musical.
I mean, that is the thing about it. The music is great. I mean, the music might almost be for me the best part because it's the part I think about the most. Like, what's this? You know, this is Halloween.
Oh God, I still tear up a little when he's in the graveyard singing after he decimates a sleigh.
Right? Yeah. I would. You know what, Cullen? Here, you're kind of at the time of year to watch it.
All right, I'm down. I almost picked it tonight, but we watched the Were Rabbit instead because it seemed appropriate for the research.
Exactly.
Actually, you know what, Maggie? I think my favorite stop motion thing might be James and the Giant Peach.
Dude, James and the Giant Peach, another Henry Selick. Mm-hmm. And I mean, I love Roald Dahl books in general, and that's a cute story. And man, I love those puppets. They're scary to see now because they do destroy themselves. That's another thing you have to be aware of is for every puppet that you see there, one, it's not the only one of that character. And two, it probably broke like 50 times in production.
Have you seen James and the Giant Peach, Cullen?
Mm-mm.
See, now that one's a good one.
Yeah, it's a little, it's kind of Who Framed Roger Rabbit-esque. It's like part animated or stop motion, part live action. So there's like a mix of the two. It has
some really good tense moments. Like that ship at the bottom of the sea really scares the shit out of me.
Has good voices too. David Thewlis, Richard Dreyfuss.
The kid isn't really that annoying at all, which is nice.
No, surprisingly not terrible.
Yeah, that kid was a pretty decent actor.
Pete
I'll give him that.
Postlethwaite is the narrator, and the man with the magic, the magic beans? Yes. No, it's just like a little magic thing.
Yeah, they're like,
curlicues or something.
Those freaking worms, the sour gummy worms. That's what I always think of when I see them.
Yeah, you might have to really check out, there's some stop motion stuff that's definitely worth checking out.
Have you all seen Have you all seen like the Starevich stuff?
Yes.
Chris, have you seen these?
Are you talking about the Alice in Wonderland stuff?
The ones that I know are
that's Spunkmeyer.
That's Spunkmeyer, okay.
This guy was like early 1900s, like in Russia. The Cameraman's Revenge is one of them. Like he worked with like insects, and he would animate them into stories. So Cameraman's Revenge, it's like his like wife is cheating on him, and he like gets a camera and is like filming it.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
It's super cool. You got to check out them.
Huh. Interesting.
There's a lot of good shit in the stop motion world.
I love stop motion. I'm a huge fan of puppets and puppetry in general.
Yeah, agreed. Obviously, you know that I'm all about that life too. And
Prince Ahmed is great.
Yes.
Yeah, the Loda Roniger. It's one of my favorites. I like the old ones. Those are the ones I've seen.
I mean, it's incredible. One of the first stop motion films was it was French. It was essentially all the parables about the fox, and he was a total dickbag. I forget the name of it.
I think that's also Starevich.
I believe so. But oh gosh, the puppet design is so cool. It almost looks like taxidermy, but
Tail of the Fox.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. And his family actually helped him animate that, which I think is just adorable because it is a very long-winded project, but the motion blurs that he utilizes is very advanced for the time that it was made. It's actually incredible the amount of motion that was so smooth and so full of personality for each type of animal that's presented in the narrative. It's astonishing. People with so much time, I just wish people would pay me to stay home 24/7 so I could do this too.
I hope they pay you to do it soon.
Yeah, we're hoping. We'll see.
They should.
So I have a question, Maggie. So since this is the last stop motion thing we're talking about this month, what is your absolute favorite stop motion anything?
Okay. So that's a fucking loaded ass question, Chris.
Hey, you're welcome.
All right. First of all, Barry Purvis. He is one of my absolute favorite animators. He wanted to be in theater but couldn't act, so he did background stuff for sets. And he takes every little bit of theater knowledge and fucking wedges it into these stories. His Achilles one is really good. It's Achilles and Patroclus, but the whole entire framing of it is so perfectly Greek. Like, everything is influenced by the art, by the motion, the poses, the stanzas. It's so meticulously picked apart and constructed. And next, like I was saying, is the Shakespeare doing Shakespeare. And that is such a technical wonder. Like, it's a feast for the eyes just watching it, and I can't even imagine how long it took for certain shots of it. And then I do love me some Will Vinton, and I was going to force you to watch his version of Rip Van Winkle, but everybody hates that when I show it to them, so.
Why?
It's very psychedelic and a little unnerving, but I fucking love it. And Will Vinton is a fantastic example of clay animators really pushing the medium. He would do transformative scenes like in The Adventures of Mark Twain. He has essentially walls moving bodies across it like liquid. It's amazing. Oh gosh, there's so many. Chris, why would you even start this bus?
I asked you.
Yeah, you did.
Soon, and then I guess is soon coming Chicken Run 2 going to be on that list? Because don't forget, we're getting Chicken Run 2.
Oh, God, I didn't even know that. How could they expand on it?
2023, Chicken Run 2.
Wow. Wowie-ree.
No, the thing I want to check out, and this may be a bonus episode at some point, but I want to check out the stop-motion film that came out this year called Mad God, which is a Phil Tippett stop-motion film.
Mad God?
Yeah.
Yeah, and he's been working on that for ages.
30 years is what this is.
Yep, and I believe that they're trying to incorporate VR into it as well, which is a very hefty thing that I have tried and failed at. It's very difficult, and you need crazy computers for that.
But apparently it's out. You can watch it. I want to watch it. It sounds insane. I'm a huge fan of Phil Tippett. Phil Tippett, obviously, known for, just working on every every non-CGI visual effect for, forever. I guess he was part of the CGI, the early CGI stuff, so that would have been
he was 70s and 80s. Yeah. The chess game, or whatever the space analog of the chess game from the initial Star Wars, he did the animation for those.
Yep.
That's like my favorite example of his, because that's kid me remembered that game specifically.
That seems amazing.
He also did, I think he was the dinosaur supervisor on Jurassic Park, and I think he was probably had to have been the guy who did the initial test that they did with stop motion, because they did stop motion dinosaurs initially for Jurassic Park, and they look horrifying.
They're
terrifying.
Definitely
they are scary.
The Ray Harryhausen level of shit. Oh yeah. Fuck, Yuri Trinka. That's my other animator that I would die for. He just did a lot of shorts though. But
that's
Russian, check.
To your point, I mean, it seems to be a lot of stop motion is obviously shorts or incorporated into larger projects in a smaller way.
Yes. Yeah, there are some weirdo examples that I can't believe even got made, like Fantastic Planet is another one, where despite all of their efforts, it's another example of they animated it too good, because that's a paper animation.
The René Laloux film?
Yes.
Oh, I love that.
Paper. So it's not even 2D animation. They did trade out paper for that entire damn thing. And it is a wonder, but they did such a good job with it. It's kind of hard to pick it apart sometimes.
Well, and don't forget there was a stop motion TV show, Celebrity Deathmatch, which I can't even believe.
I forgot about that.
Yeah,
Think
absolutely.
about a weekly stop motion television show.
Yeah, and how freaking fun were those?
Yeah.
That was great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that show gets dragged for being kind of like, a pop culture kind of, I guess, kind of a weird pop culture antique at this point. But
I mean, yeah,
stop motion.
It's the beauty of it. I like the time capsule products because, how else are they going to get made other than they're made in the early thousands? Duh.
Yeah. Oh man, that was so good.
Yeah. Yeah, that's one of those things where when you think about what it is outside of what the show is about, it's insanity. Just like
Yep.
That was MTV, right?
Yeah.
Back when MTV actually did cool things.
Yeah.
Right.
As opposed to what is it now, 16 and Pregnant.
No, it's just reality TV. That's so.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, because they took the music out of it. Like, I think literally they changed the trademark. MTV no longer means music television.
Yeah.
Well, if they don't play music, what does it matter anyways, right?
I guess. Still sucks.
I mean, I don't disagree with you.
I haven't watched that station in close to 20 years. So
there you go. So, Cullen, would you skip or watch Wallace and Gromit?
Oh, watch nothing else other than the movies that y'all have been talking about today. Yes.
I was going to say, if you come away from this podcast not having plenty of stop motion things to watch, you weren't taking enough notes, because I think we talked about 20 at least plus things.
Yes.
The Shakespeare stuff alone, or the thing that you mentioned, Cullen, with the bugs. I mean, that alone right there, if that doesn't sound like something you want to check out, I'm sorry.
Your life's sad.
I mean, I essentially have an entire podcast talking about stop motion animation, the Rankin' on Bass podcast. I mean, that's, we talk about stop motion there. So, stop motion is kind of everywhere, but when it's stuff like Wallace and Gromit, that's few and far between, where it's a whole thing of stop motion.
It is magical. It truly is.
It really is. What about you, Maggie? I don't even feel like I need to ask you. Would you skip or watch Wallace and Gromit?
Smash or pass.
Yeah,
no,
bro.
Totally watch it. Totally watch it. Yeah, it's fun. They're short. And, I always, at the end of every single one of Nick Park's stuff, I actually feel way better about shit. And hey, as a bonus, go check out his short, Not Without My Handbag, which is my favorite that he's ever made ever. And it's about the devil possessing a handbag to get this old lady's soul that sold it for a washing machine.
Yeah, see, that sounds pretty great.
It's amazing. And the set pieces, fantastic.
And again, I mean, these feature-length stop-motion things are, again, it's a massive undertaking, so that's why there's not very many. There are probably more than realistically there should be, given the amount of time and effort people, and loss of sleep and everything else, like you've mentioned, Maggie.
Yes.
Yeah, so I'm going to obviously watch it, check out as much Wallace and Gromit stuff as you can. It's all on, the shorts are on YouTube, I'm sure. This stuff's all on Amazon Prime. So that's where you can go to find that stuff. Cullen, where can people find you?
I am finally putting more music online. I put out a solo hardcore album that's on Fuzzy Warble's cassettes called Not Myself Today. The group's called Demoted. But if you just go to CullenGallagher.com, I'm actually updating with links and stuff.
Hell yeah.
I'm using the internet in one of the ways that it's supposed to be used.
just say, one of the many ways it was intended to be used.
No, this is the only way, really.
If it were the only way, I feel like the internet would be a lot more useful than it kind of feels like it is most of the
Agreed.
time. What about you, Maggie? Where can people find you?
Dumpster in the back of the Denny's. I'm glad you went back to asking the old ways. Anyway, you can find me at the Dolin Museum at dolinmuseum.com, DOLIN. I have a bunch of just doodles and crap that I end up doing throughout my day. Animations are up there, ramblings, challenges, comics, all that fun hoop-de-doo. Oh, and Instagram at Maggie the Odd. I always forget that sucker.
Hoop-de-doo.
Yeah, that whole hoop-de-doo, hullabaloo.
What the You're operating on next level mode right now.
This is an animator's brain, Chris.
Yeah.
Glut thy soul and slay.
We're talking about stop motion for an hour and a half now, motherfucker. What do you want from me?
I gotta get my wire. Where's my wire?
Exactly. As for me, you can find me at cstachiw.com. That's my link tree. That's where you can go. Patreon.com/Kulturecast. All the good stuff. You've heard this before, so I'll just say it again. Patreon, all that. Thank you to the supporters. Patreon.com, bonus episodes, all that stuff for you if you're interested. No pressure, though, because this stuff's free anyways. Maggie, Cullen, thank you guys for joining me. Second to last podcast of the year.
Thank you all for having me.
And,
and thank you for picking such great movies, Maggie.
Yeah,
I know. I'm flawless victorying. I'm feeling like the best Mortal Kombat character.
I seem to have a talent in finding people that know what they're talking about with movies. Cullen, Maggie,
just a scotch,
just a little bit.
We're just good at bullshitting, you. You just haven't. You haven't caught us.
And you, Chris, you know what you're talking about.
You're damn straight.
Well, I'm not fishing for compliments, but thank you. I'll take them if you're willing to give them.
So, of course.
And as always, make sure to check out the next episode.
Hello and welcome to Tumbleweeds and TV Cowboys. My name is Hunter. In this podcast, I'll be joined by a different guest each week to discuss a classic Western movie or TV show. I've been a fan of classic Westerns for as long as I can remember, and in recent years, they've become very nostalgic for me. I love the aesthetic, the tropes, and I love seeing different filmmakers' takes on them. At their best, they're incredibly entertaining, rewatchable, and some of my all-time favorite movies are Westerns. We'll mostly focus on Western movies made in Hollywood, but we'll also be covering spaghetti Westerns, and one thing I'm very excited to get into are Western TV shows. I've got some amazing guests coming on the show, film professors, historians, and podcasters, and Tumbleweeds and TV Cowboys is part of the Someone's Favorite Productions podcast network, and many guests on the show will be from other shows on the network. Thanks for listening.